Welcome to today's webinar. We're excited to share how OCR and computer vision are changing the logistics industry. I'd like to begin with the introduction of our speakers, industry expert in AI-powered solutions. Please meet my colleague Sergey Skarmets, who is the head of our AI department, and my name is Victoria Moroz, and I'm the head of logistics department at Eliftech. Today, we'll discuss insights on how businesses use automation to stay ahead in a competitive market. If companies still manually handle invoices, bill of ladings, and proof of delivery documents, they waste time and money. Errors, delays, and compliance risks add up fast. And over 85% of logistic companies have invested in AI and automation. And document digitalization is at the top of the list. With RCR and computer vision, businesses can reduce processing time from hours to minutes and eliminate costly manual errors. And now I would like Sergey Skarmets, my colleague, explain more on the tech side of the SCR on computer vision.
Hey team, thank you, Victoria. First of all, I will try to explain what is OCR, how we are using OCR, how we are using intelligent document processing, using simple terms and maybe not too deep tech dive, but let's take a look from a view from a client perspective. What if I want to implement OCR? What if I want to do intelligent document processing in my business logistic? First of all, general OCR. OCR, optical character recognitions. It means we are extracting words, symbols, characters from a documents. Documents can be images, scans, PDF documents, etc. Okay, we extracted documents. In logistic, it can be invoices, receipts, proof of deliveries, bill of ladings, just parcel number, etc., etc. So different types. Let's take as example invoices. Invoices, receipts. It's easy to understand. And my main idea just to explain new concept, because except of OCR, we also will talk what we will do with extracted data, how we will handle it, also how AI can help here. So first of all, OCR can be done using non-AI, let's say, services, libraries like PyTesseract, Amazon Tesseract, etc., etc. So they are really extracting documents. And also we can use AI or machine learning services to extract documents, which can be Amazon Tesseract, which uses machine learning documents. Also, we can use LLMs, which is quite a good and quite promising things. Okay, except of it, if we will do to next slide, we can use so except of OCR, we need to do something with this data. We need to compare to understand what I got from a receipt, what I've got from invoice, for example, how to use this data. For let's imagine, for example, if I want to extract invoice ID, invoice date, destination, location, etc., etc. I extracted this data, but I want to compare with another document which provided also for example, to detect fraud. By the way, in some next slides, we will check a video of our implementation, and we'll talk about some technical aspect, how we implement it, what challenges we face it, etc. Except for CR, if we extract the data, we want to compare and here AI can help because from one side you can write a rule. Okay, let's compare extracted date with this. If this date equals this date, then everything okay. Yes, but what if you want to compare different types of data and lot of data? You will just end up with if else for 1,000 lines of codes. Guys, I'm talking from a perspective of developer because I did these cases. And of course, here we can use AI and machine learning. We can approach to it from different perspective, for example, because you know now everyone talks about LLMs, large language model. I mean, but it doesn't mean that it's a holy grail, you know, in all cases. You need to start from a simple stuff, simple approaches, maybe even from if else, if it helps, because you can be sure that your service, your algorithms will work. You can also use machine learning, other machine learning algorithms instead of LLM, but you would need more data. First of all, you would need data sets, you would need more data to train machine learning model, evaluate, and then get results. Okay. Except of with it, mm, we regarding it, I think that's it. Yes, computer vision. Also, we will talk about a bit about computer vision in logistic. What is computer vision? First of all, it's a eye of your service. You can check pictures, you can check images, you can check video streams from your camera or in your warehouses or your parcels flow, etc. So for computer vision, also can be used if I'm a company, I want to implement computer vision service in my warehouse. First of all, I will think from prospect. I will start from a simple things. Can I use already existing services? Can I use existing models? What I need for these existing models? If existing machine learning models can help me, because again, usually we can use one of the good existing models. It's YOLO. You can grab pre-trained YOLO model, train. By the way, it's what we did in our implementation. We will also show it on video, but just for you to understand. So you can grab the trained model, you can prepare data set, and you can train. Okay. But for it also some challenges. It's a data set because to train model on your task, you need a data set. You need a good data set with reliable data. You need training. You need to evaluate after training, maybe repeat this iteration again and again and again until you will reach your accuracy, which is suitable for you as for your service. Okay, now we can move to video. Yes, first of all, it's OCR fraud detector. You can see here we are uploading images, processing it, some processes. Yes, you can check the data extracted from documents. It's one part, extraction of the data. Another part, what we are doing with this data. And here also we use it AI, large language model, to do evaluation if it's fraud, if documents are fraud or not fraud. Okay, you can see here market one, first one fraud, second one not fraud and rejected. Okay. First of all, to implement the system, before implementing that system, we evaluated different approaches. First, again, OCR part and processing this OCR. We analyzed PyTesseract non-AI services. We analyzed Amazon Textract services. We analyzed large language model, their vision capabilities. And also, depending on which of this solution you will choose, will depend on the input data, documents which you are receiving. For example, if you are sure that you are receiving invoices, which has standard structure, good quality, why should you use costly services? You can go with more low-level services as PyTesseract, for example, and write some algorithms. But in our case, we faced the problem that usually users upload proof of delivery, for example, just a picture on a background of your truck. Poor quality even you cannot see good characters. In this case, you would need to use more reliable services, and we use a large language model, which helps us quite a good. Okay, I think we can move to this video. Parcel detections, also few steps, different blocks here. You can see that it's first of all it's detected parcel, then it's detected damages, then it classified what type of damage it is. So it's not just one model used here, but different models and different tasks. As I mentioned, classify, detect damage, and then detect what type it is. You can use also different approaches here. You can create your machine learning model for this. For this, again, you would need lot of data. You need to. It's not just you will have thousands of images with damages, and that's it. Data set for a machine learning model, it's prepared images. It means you have images, you have cropping image with damage and type of it. Totally prepared data set. So machine learning model will take it as an input and will give you as an output classification and position of your damage. It's time, it's concerns in your accuracy, but it's doable. It's also dependent on your situation, how much time, what you have in your, let's say, development resources. We use it for this RoboFlow. RoboFlow, quite a good service where you can even, let's say, with low code, build different blocks which are responsible for different tasks. So first block was detecting parcel, second block was the second block and second model was detecting damage in it. We use it YOLO, just pre-train it for it to detect damage. Then you are cropping it, and then you are classifying this damage. It can be wet, damaged, dirty, etc., etc. We also used another model for it, also did some pre-training, but using RoboFlow and available pre-training models gives you one of the good points. It's when using pre-trained models, you need less data set. You can go even with 1,000 images, which will give you quite a good accuracy. That was our approach here. I think that's it. Also, I want to mention challenges, especially because it sounds like, okay, you can use some services, just uh, use API, create security key, upload model, etc., etc. But first of all, you need to consider some things. First of all, security. Where do you want to host your data? How do you want, which services you want? Are you able to share? Do you have sensitive data? How far sensitive data can go? Also, reliability. Your service should be available, scalable, etc., etc. Uh, Also, there are flexibility here because you can use if you are using for OCR, for example, and you decided to use large language model. Different LLMs we have. OpenAI has its own. Amazon has its own. Anthropic has its own. So, for example, here we used Amazon Bedrock service, which has quite a good list of different LLMs for different purposes. We used 3.5 Sonnet, which gives us quite a good results. First of all, your sensitive data doesn't go outside of VPN, which is good. So no OpenAI here. Also, if you want, there are another choice. You can use open source LLMs, large language models. You can download to your service, spin it up, and use it. Then you can be sure you have on-premise services. You have models there. You can be sure that your data not going outside of it, but you need to be sure that your service will be reliable. It's also DevOps or MLOps effort which pulls quite a good resources. So every time when you start a business, when you want to implement some services, you need to consider what do you have, what trade-off what trade-off you have, and what you can, and then you can decide what you can choose. I think that's it from my side. I want to pass a word to Victoria.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergey. Thank you very much for sharing lots of technical insights. And now let's move more into the business aspect of our today's topic. And first of all, I would like to share more on the cost of the manual processing and why it's currently one of the biggest challenges in the logistics space. And first of all, we all know, and also from the communication with our clients, the manual data entry is one of the biggest challenges in the logistics domains. And study shows that human mistakes accounts for nearly like 30 or 40% of all invoice errors, and usually this leads to the delays and compliance risks. And that is why then the documents are handled really slowly, and the companies usually experience slow shipment, billing mistakes, and penalties for non-compliance, all of which significantly impact on the company's bottom line. And on average, for example, the business spend like around $12 per invoice if it is processed manually, compared to the only $3 then it is processed like automatically. And that is why usually these kind of efficiencies like pile up, making the automation for such companies like real necessity. And speaking about the benefits of the OCR and computer vision for the companies, this is usually the part that helps to reduce the errors. And I would like Dasha to share the next slide. The benefits, one of the main points why we are discussing here the OCR and computer vision, because it usually like significantly help to increase the efficiency of the companies, specifically for the reducing the errors, running up and improving the workflows, and also of course matching and following all the necessary compliances during the transportation. And usually our AI-powered solutions can extract and verify data immediately, eliminating the need for manual human intervention. And that is why companies implementing OCR, they usually reported like really 75% decrease in processing time. And this goes to 90% drop in errors. And that is why these improvements really lead to faster deliveries, sleeker operations, and millions in cost savings. And speaking about the future of the OCR and computer vision in logistics, this is like really, I can say the graphics shows like the perspective how these AI implementations will grow within like the next decade. And I can say that we all know that AI is already pretty solid part in the logistics field, as well as like other industries. And from what we expect by the 2027, the global OCR market is expected to reach up to 15.3 billion US dollars. And the future advancement will allow even greater accuracy and more instant document validation. And even with this, let's say, data that will be gathered, there will be the possibility to have more effective predictive analytics. So that is why it will simplify the supply chains, reduce the supply chain disruptions even further. And that is why, as the industry adopts into the automation, companies will be investing more in the OCR and computer vision, and this will help to position them as the leaders in efficiency and innovation in this industry. And first of all, I also want to a little bit like recap the discussions that we have today and sum up with the key takeaways from the today's session is that the OCR and computer vision have like really significantly changed the logistics. And of course, the biggest part of it is focused more on the reducing of the manual errors. And that is why it also helps in the speeding up of the processing of these invoices and all other documents, because they know that logistic is like document heavy industry. And that is why all of this leads to the saving of the huge budgets in, if we speak about the year operations, and of course the improving of the compliances that the companies need to follow. So that is why if you want to optimize your document workflows, now it's like really the time to take an action. So thank you very much for your attention, and I would be happy to open the floor to our Q&A session. So feel free to ask any questions. So if I'm not mistaken, we already have some questions. So just 1 second. So we have one question from Simon. The question is, could the image recognition be used for vegetable sorting, for example? Sergey, I think this is the question for you.
Yes, it can be. First of all, what we are talking about, we can talk about detecting sorting by type, for example, or just detecting, but it's a different challenges. Let's imagine we want to detect vegetable, first of all, and then we want to sort by type vegetable. Or maybe you want to sort one type by freshness, ripeness of vegetable. We had a project, by the way, uh, related to detect ripeness of strawberry.
Like freshness, yeah, of the
Freshness,
strawberry.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I
freshness.
remember the project. Yeah.
Was very interesting, by the way. Also used YOLO. Tried to do YOLO without RoboFlow and in RoboFlow. Of course, in RoboFlow it's much more easier, much more faster to do a POC and then to move to production. So there can be different solutions, and also even some experts can say yes, you can use just LLM, give a picture or video stream, divide on picture, give it to LLM, and it will give you type or freshness or type of vegetable, etc., etc. Yes, LLM can do it, no problem, fast. They will tell you maybe a week of coding and you will have a POC or something, but you need to detect. If I understand, we want to use sorting really on device. It means that time of processing important, and price of using this service also important. LLMs will be more expensive, and second, LLM process time of a large language model bigger. As more tokens you will put, and as more tokens you will ask, as longer will be a delay of response. Really, it's not 1 second, it can be 5 seconds, text, 10 seconds, etc. It's too much for sorting, especially if you're detecting video streams and your vegetables is moving. For this, really, YOLO models can help. Using even again RoboFlow, it's quite a good example because it's really handy and easy to understand. So you are taking model, you are preparing. Again, you would need always data set. Data set as example. Model, even pre-trained model, is kind of child which you are learning to do a task. Which task you decide. To do this task, you need examples. Like examples. This is an image, this is output. This is image, this is output. You would need to prepare a data set for model, train it, evaluate, make sure you are okay with confidence score which is gives to you, and then start to move forward. So yes, it's possible. Quite a normal example.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for the answer, Sergey. And now
Mhm.
another question. What are the risks of using public LLMs for sensitive business operation? And how can, for example, we avoid them?
Yes, very nice question. And a simple answer, data leaks, sensitive data leaks. First of all, even if you are not using public, let's say you are using OpenAI, they are hosting their LLM. It's not open source, but you need to make sure that your data will be not used for training LLMs. it's a disaster. So you need to be sure when we are using Amazon Bedrock, you are signing contracts. They will not use your data for training their model. So your data stays really inside your VPN. First of all, you can say, okay, I can use open source model, download on my service, and my data will be there. As for me, it's quite a good solution, quite a good approach, but I always very careful with open source services. Even if it's on your device, you need to be careful. Uh, what this model does, all machine learning models, it's a black boxes. Like give some data, you are receiving some output, you don't know what is happening inside. So you should be very careful. But that's it.
Got you. Thank you, Sergey. And one more question that we have today. What's the trade-off between using a pre-trained LLM and building a custom AI solution from scratch?
It will give you quite a fast prototyping and even time to market. Especially if you're using service which provides you LLM, you don't need to take care about hosting it, about be available, about scaling and the GPUs, etc. You just use an API, give a data, prepare a nice prompt, receive a response, and that's it. So fast. Time to market, quite a good pros. Price, it's a cons because in this case you will pay for tokens. If you are using LLM as a service provider, you will pay for tokens. As more you will use, as more you will pay for tokens. Images has a bit more tokens than text, so of course you will pay for it. If you are using open source LLM, you download it and you are using on your machines, you will pay for GPU. It for quite a good amount, good resources for GPU. So you need to consider this. Also, even if you are talking for now about LLMs hosted or services, you need to be sure that you would need DevOps resources for it to be able to handle it on your side. If we are talking so fast but costly and resource taking. If we are talking about our custom solution, it means that we can create our model or take some model, pre-train it, and train on our data. But first of all, let's start from the beginning, from the data set, data on which will go into the model, inside of the model. You need to prepare data. It's not just hundreds of samples, it's thousands of samples depending also on your task and which model you can choose. For example, if you are talking about YOL, we can take, as I mentioned before, 1,000 images or data set of 1,000 samples and pre-train it, and it will give you quite a good results. But if you are taking more, let's say our custom created model, we would need 50,000 samples. Again, it's not just images, it's really prepared data set where you have images and where you have labeled data. But you will not pay, you will have your own solution, you will have your own model. It can be even faster than LLM. So you will not pay for resources. Of course, you will pay for GPU, depending on which model you will use. But the thing is that it will take much more longer time to market. Let's say you will move usually when machine learning models are developed. It means again that data set data pre-process, train a model, evaluate the model, see that your accuracy is low, revise your data set, fine-tune your model, train it, evaluate, and it can be iteration, weeks or months. And then maybe you will be happy with your accuracy score. So again, it's time to market. And sometimes we don't have this time. It's the most important trade-offs.
And getting back to this question again, maybe it makes some sense to launch a certain product that relies on the AI with pre-trained LLM, while, for example, you are teaching your own custom AI to do the LLM's work better. So it's not too late to the market, yeah? Like go to market time. We have the question here. So like a suggestion and something from your point of view to answer. So maybe it is okay if, for example, we let's say start with the AI solution that will be used to pre-train LLM in the beginning, while in the meantime, the client is creating their
Yes.
own solution.
Yes. Totally. Yes. Yes. Agree.
Okay, so and getting back to the first question that was related to the vegetable sorting. The question is the following. For example, if we will be able to use the collected data from this about the freshness of the vegetables, will we be able to use to build the demand indicators for the supply chain to inform the end users as to the availability, allowing the supply and demand indication?
Yes, we will be. It doesn't mean that we will end up with just a few models or simple pipeline. It will be much more complex, but yes. And again, yeah, just I want to mention again, always we are relying on data set. Of course, we would need it. We would need pre-process, and it's time.
But anyway, the extracted data we will be able to collect and, let's say, build the understanding on how, for example, the demand indicators will help with the supply chain understanding. Yes, be able to create this kind of indicators. Okay. And another question is using the custom LLM model, has there been any consideration to reverse computing?
Usually you would need it will be too costly.
Yes.
That's what I can say.
So as I understand, it is possible, but it will be like more really time consuming and by like spending like a big amount of budget for its implementation. Okay. So I think that this is all the questions that we have today. So thank you everybody for your attention and of course the questions. So in case you will have like any additional questions or clarifications that you want to discuss, you can of course reach out to our team and we would be happy to support you. So also, if you want to digitize some processes within your company, also you can do not hesitate to book an intro meeting with our team and discuss the customized solutions for your company. So thank you very much and hopefully see you soon on our next webinar.